Hello. Hello. Okay, good afternoon. Hey, there we go. My microphone is working. Success. So, welcome to the no assist here. Hi, Witcher. How you doing, mate? Hope you're going to enjoy this race. Best of luck to everyone involved as we see all the drivers going out with their zero assists set. We're going to have a little hop on board. Ooh, it's, Harry Cully takes an interesting route straight through there. Get himself into a good position for the old outlet. Who we got? Little guy on our little old track map. We're going to sit on board with. Ooh. Did old Chopper just disappear? No. Did just disappear back into the garage? How interesting. We're going to ride on board with Goat Anxiety then, as he comes around to set his opening lap. And I don't usually do this bit, so I'm a little bit out of shape in that I'm still eating my dinner, so please excuse me, everyone. unlucky there from Noof Squiddish as he goes running off the track there. We got on a hot lap. Panicle coming round. Through the Lesmos. Down towards the interesting set of corners on the track. Certainly the most enjoyable in my eyes. Now into Parabolica. Really try and keep your foot in and get it in as early as you can. Throw the car in. Hug the line for the straights. Lines to the start finish straight, and Pinnacle goes with 120.9. And let's scroll down the order. Have a little look at how the Goat of Anxiety is doing. Oh, just off the track there. Having to get your foot out of it, which means he's going to have lost time. One of the challenges with this track is that the margins are so fine. If you try and take this track slowly, you're going to be super slow. If you try and take this track fast, you can make easy mistakes. Here we ride on board with the Goat of Anxiety as he goes into Parabolica. Really threw it in, getting back on the power early, push, going for the finish line, and across the start finish line, Goat of Anxiety goes 121.2 and goes up into 8th place. So we've got Yari heading out onto a new hot lap. Let's ride on board with him. Very Carly sets the purple sector through the middle sector there. Right down and over into Parabolica. One of the fastest tracks around. Monza. Carcraft sets a new fastest lap. Harry Cully goes on a 119.4, Carcraft on a 119.0, and Too Late Mate 119.3 in the middle of them. Let's ride on board with Too Late Mate. Can he respond to Carcraft's quick lap there? Got 0.3 of a second to find on the Racing Point driver. swerving around ahead of him. He's backed out. That's a shame. He wasn't going fast enough. They drop in the pits there. Okay, who can we ride on board with? He's just come out on an outlet. Carcraft will be coming into the pits this time, I would think. Following him in. Richer on a hot lap, but he's invalidated it somewhere along the line, so is he going to come into the pits as well? I would think he is. Yeah. Dark Glass E21 also invalidated. Pinnacle also invalidated. So Yellow Cat Speed, aka Bellinator, up into 9th place with a 121.1, so good lap time from him. Invalidated that. Let's ride on board with Yari then, as he goes on to a new hot lap. Can he improve, get himself up the order? Now through the last corner, Parabolica, touching up onto the grass a little bit, and you've mainly got to get out of it. Now he runs to the line. Oh, he's going to come into the pits this time, clearly not going to improve. And now we've got the a little bit of a qualifying lull as everyone waits for that optimal time to do their last flying lap. We've just got Fingerhook starting a hot lap, so let's ride on board with him. A little lock-up running into that first corner just makes it super difficult to get the braking right. It's one of the harshest braking zones on the game. Running round onto the start, into this next tight chicane, and nicely controlled through there from Fingerhook. Kept the car under control nicely, the Tier 4 driver. Ooh, he gets a little bit of oversteer just coming out of there as you clip that inside curb. You've got to be really careful of that curb. And although the curbs here are relatively low, they can really kick the car around, especially with the high speeds that we're doing here. It's nicely run through Parabolica from Fingerhook. Up and across the line. Oh, we want to keep it a tighter line to the finish there. That's not going to be an improvement of 1 minute 20.7. Let's ride on board then. There is Harry Cully. Harry Cully is going to be the first to lead us round on this final set of hot laps. So really heavy braking zone here. You've got to slam on the brakes. Try and get the car curled enough that you can make it into that first turn. And then it's all about ensuring that you don't get the traction on, oversteer the car on the way out. Keeping the car as tight to the right-hand side through this long turn here. And then again, slamming those brakes on and trying to keep it as straight as you can. You can run so close to the gravel on the outside of that curb, but don't want to touch it. Really fast through the first Lesmo, hitting the brakes and trying to clip this apex. So nicely done there from Carcraft through the second Lesmo. Really nicely done. Can he go what, sub 1 minute 19? As we watch him hammering down, he's 0.2 of a second up. He's currently inside that gap, and he oversteps the boundary, and that's an invalidated lap time. Harry Cully is also going to invalidate his lap time behind. Let's ride on board with Yari then. Can Yari find a response to these guys ahead of him? 0.6 of a second down so far. An absolutely mammoth lap from Carcraft. How is Yari comparing at this 0.3 of a second up? It's not going to be enough for first. If you can hold, it's going to be enough for second place. Just out. Running down through Parabica. Oh, apex nasty there. A little bit wide of the apex. It could have done a little bit better, but it's almost perfect. And keeping it tight to the line. Yari goes second with a 119.177. Fantastic lap there from Yari. Let's see how Too Late Mate can respond in third place. Pinnacle sets a 119.9. Confirms his position. El Troca has gone third with a 119.3, so an excellent lap from El Troca to move up ahead of those drivers around him. Oh, and just gets the tail gets out of him. Ah, no, and that's off the track from Too Late Mate. So it's not going to be an improvement from him. Lunderwill's going to give it up. How's Witcher doing? No good from Witcher. And so I think that's how everyone's going to look as we cross. Fingerhook crosses the line, 120.647. So no major improvements in the early part of the race here. Sorry, in the latter stages of qualifying. All the drivers' jobs now be to focus on getting that perfect launch off the line. Just for the opening set of corners. When we return, we're racing here at SRL. So we can see here then our final results: Carcraft, Yari, El Troca, Too Late Mate and Harry Cully in our top 5. Down the back, we are not going to have time to have a look at all of them. Also, it looks like we're going to be racing in the wet and the rain here. Interesting what that will do for the strategy of all the drivers. Going to make it super difficult with the no assists. So expect an exciting evening of racing here. Now, here is something for us to ponder. Carcraft has started on the intermediate tyres, and it looks surely too wet for the intermediates. Everyone else has gone onto the wet tyres. Surely it's too wet for the intermediates. Either this has been a brilliant plan and a brilliant idea from Carcraft, or he's made a schoolboy error here. I would agree with you right there, Nerdy Average Gamer. He could find himself in a world of difficulty trying to get the car off the line with intermediate tyres on. But having poo-pooed it immediately, I mean, there's a drying line on there. So it all depends on how long it takes into the race for us to hit the that crossover point. J Pope is suggesting he goes and orders the all-terrain tyres and drive on the grass. Could possibly be the quickest route, but I think you might get a penalty or two. Yeah. Well, it could be an advantage, absolutely. If we do get to that crossover point, Carcraft will be in the position of not needing to worry about such issues. Calling a two-stop race for most of the drivers. As we ride on board, we are now prepared. Oh, seem to have a nice shot. Oh, here we go. There we go. The lights are on. 5 lights. Go out and away we go. There's a drive-through penalty for a jump start from Dark RT21, but it looks like Carcraft has managed to get it off the line in a straight enough line there. Oh, and 2 drivers collide behind. Ari up the inside of Carcraft for first place, and side by side they battle through that opening chicane. Great driving from the 2 guys, and really carefully done, as allows now Too Late Mate to have a look on the outside of Carcraft. But Carcraft managed to hold his own on those intermediate tyres, and it looks like all 4 drivers, and he's going flying off the wall there, and that's the Goat Bang side. And that's someone else, and that's Yari off onto the grass and losing a couple of places. Too Late Mate goes through, and Too Late Mate, oh, we've got a virtual safety car for that. Well, we've got a virtual safety car to sort out what happened there. So chaos reigns in the first few, in a couple of instances of drivers colliding. Oh, and that's Noob Squid off into the wall as we go racing again. And has Too Late Mate got someone ahead of him? No, he hasn't. So It's too late, mate. You're leading from Yari, leading from Carcraft, who has then got El Trocker tracking in behind him, and then a little bit of a gap back to Witcher. And there's someone running wide ahead there as El Trocker gets past Carcraft. So Carcraft losing places on that decision to run the inter tyres at the start of this race. And now the classic glitch opens up and allows me to see absolutely nothing of what is going on. Let's ride on board with Kebab in behind Witcher. So Witcher is right behind a pink car. I'm assuming he must be learning to wheel, but I've no idea. Or Parcraft maybe. Oh, and there we go. Witcher goes off onto the side there, and Kebab is going to get through nice and easily. And and then he's going to run over the corner there. I'm going to have to get right out of it in order to not get a caution or a penalty for that. Okay, it looks like we're just about correct now, with Too Late Mate leading from Yari, leading from El Trocker, who, with Carcraft in 4th place. Yeah, it looks like it's just about caught everything up. So Kebab now will be the next person to close in behind the back of Carcraft. Deep over. Oh, how are you 0.034 behind someone? You're clearly not, are you? Right. Catsby is going to get past Yari, it looks like. So a good move from Catsby up into 5th place. Yari down into 6th. Has he got any damage or something that's causing that? Or just not on the pace? He's got Witcher in right behind him. Witcher swings into the pits. So Witcher switching. Interesting to see what he switches to. So Kebab having the best of the opening few laps here, going up 11 places, and now right onto the back of Carcraft. So brilliant move as Carcraft comes up onto the, clips the inside, and that was exactly one of those places where I was talking about the curbs being absolutely. So you clip it there, you end up in the air, and you end up in gravel, and you end up in gravel twice as Carcraft goes off the track. And now Yari swings through. Now Yari is just behind Catsby. So now Too Late Mate leads an 8.5 second gap back to his teammate El Trocker. So that's a massive gap there. Then he's got Kebab in right behind him. Kebab looking to make a move past El Trocker somewhere. A little bit of a gap then back to drivers behind. Let's have a look here at the battle for 8th place as Lunar Jedi and Sharif side. Lunar Jedi has a look around the outside and he's going to run wide there. Harry Cully gets a 3-second penalty, but Lunar Jedi is through, and now it looks like Harry Cully is going to have a run on the back of Sharif as well. And around the outside he gets that move done as Yari goes past Catsby. Fingerhook going past Harry Cully's come into the pits. And has got a nose wing change to be dealing with as well. Nightmare for Harry Cully. Let's have a look then. Kebab right in behind the back of El Trocker now, and his march up the field. Oh, we've got a safety car. We've got a safety car, everybody. So the safety car is out. So, well, what a fantastic evening, bit of racing we've had so far. We've got the safety car out, and that's going to close everyone back up. So let's have a little chance to have a look at who is going to swing it into the pits. Fresh tyres. Harry Cully's come back out on the inters. Dark RT on the wets. Let's have a few other drivers at the back. Surely too early to switch. El Trocker comes into the pits, as has Too Late Mate. Oh no, and that could really cause a problem for these guys. Too Late Mate is out. El Trocker. Oh, he's got enough of a gap. So enough of a gap there for El Trocker. How quickly have they replaced it? Yeah, he's not going to lose too much time there. And assuming he had some kind of penalty to deal with. It looks like we've got a few drivers coming out with choosing to go on the inters now as well. So some drivers going for the inters, some drivers going back out on the wets. Yari's sticking on the wets. El Trocker going on to the inters and hoping that it will be, as we were saying in the chats. All depends on the equality. Sorry, all depends on how well you can get those tyres back up, and it all depends on whether it's going to rain anymore. I mean, in theory, the line should just get drier and drier now, which means the inters will be the right tyres to be on. The moment you get off that line, though, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. So, Kebab Cat B. Carcraft doesn't need to pit because he started off on the intermediate tyres. We've got Deepover. DP. I'm going to call him DP. Got DP in 4th place there. He's doing a good job, the new driver. Too Late Mate having pitted onto a fresh set of inters in 5th place. So he's that's what worked out for him. And he's going to hope that Lunar Jedi creates a bit of a gap in the space behind. Lunar Jedi is going to come into the pits, and this is something I'm assuming these drivers must have missed the opportunity to pit on the first time round, because the damage is obviously quite, you know, you lose so much more time. You can lose a lot more positions if you wait under safety car to pit, especially if you pit from the safety car queue. So interesting choices by some of the drivers to pit after a lap. Joe Royal is telling us that his, according to his sources, the inters and the wets are equal, so they're about even performance. It'll all depend then on, is it going to dry? Is the track going to dry, or is it going to get wetter? And it looks like it's drying. Oh, this isn't great for Dark RT21, who is caught up in the train here, which means he's going to end up really far down off the pace from everyone else. So, a bit of a nightmare for Dark RT21, who was caught in this traffic, in this safety car queue. He's going to find it very difficult to catch up 21 with a lap more to make up. As we have more drivers coming into the pits. Again, interesting decisions. I'm assuming that these must be... the Ari will be coming in onto the inters. So the choice to go onto the wets, it's cost him there for Yari. Learning to wheel, also onto a set of inters. So it looks like the inters are the way to go. So Catesby then, our current race leader, up 14 positions from 15th on the grid to start from. That's pretty impressive. From Kebab, sorry, Catesby, up 12 positions. Super driving from those guys. Can they hold it out? That's the question. Now everyone behind them is pitted. It's going to be tricky, you would think, but I don't know how long these tyres can last into the race. So it'll be interesting to see who can make them go the longest while we're doing that. It looks like the safety car is coming in this lap, so the safety car is coming in this lap. Let's have a little look at, DP has got a drive-through penalty, as has Sharif, as has Learning to Wheel. They're going to have to serve them within 3 laps of having returned to the track. Carcraft got a 3-second penalty. Ali got a 3-second penalty. Fingerhook got a 3-second penalty. Noob Squid has got a 3-second penalty, and so does Witcher. So a few drivers there with 3-second penalties to deal with. As Kebab becomes the de facto leader, runs it round. You're going to time it so that you can cross that start-finish line at the right moment, and he's not got it. A good restart because Catesby is through, and it looks like Carcraft might be able to find a way through as well. Kebab runs to the inside, trying to hold that line. Oh, and Catesby trying to get past, but he's not going to get the move done. Oh, and a little bit of oversteer from Carcraft, and that's going to allow Harry Cully to get through behind him as well. Further down, Yari getting past or having a look at getting past Trocker there. He's got past Vivico. Too Late Mate is past Catesby, so Too Late Mate, a great restart from him, up into second place already. And Too Late Mate is now up into that spot there as Harry Cully spins out, and Harry Cully loses it and pulls back onto the track just in front of Lunar Jedi. So a couple of little errors coming into from people early on. El Trocker and Yari having a good little battle side by side, and Yari now chasing down Fingerhook. He's got Learning to Wheel right behind him, and Learning to Wheel has got a drive-through penalty to deal with. So still Witcher gets past there. Harry Cully and someone spinning around and facing the wrong way. And who is that? Is that Kebab? That's Kebab. So Kebab, after his brilliant start, has spun and ended up facing the wrong way, allowing Too Late Mate to go back up into the top spot, and already over a 3-second gap there to Catesby, who has got Carcraft pulling up the inside of him. Can he get past here? Good move from Catesby. Now Harry Cully's going to have a look up the inside of the Haas driver. Side by side, squeezing each other. Oh, not giving him enough space there. Really, Harry, got to let people around. And a good move from the McLaren driver in the end, getting himself up into third spot on the grid. Obviously with penalties still to serve, so Catesby, all is not lost. All is not lost. He's still in what will be second spot once the penalties are served from these drivers up ahead of you. Now we've got Lunar Jedi. Oh, and that's Yari off onto the grass again, and I think Yari's just had a few issues with keeping it consistent here, and Lunar Jedi off on the grass as well. And El Trocker and Vivico having a good little battle there. El Trocker is through past Vivico. And now he's going to chase down Fingerhook ahead of him. As we've lost all of our individual data, let's have a little look. Brilliant. It'll be very exciting when we see Too Late Mate sets new fastest lap, 1:31.0. He's got Carcraft ahead of him. Harry Cully tracking in behind Carcraft. They're starting to open up a bit of a gap now. That gap is nearly broken out of the 3 seconds. Back to Catsby. Lunar Jedi is now trying to pull away from Yari as El Trocker goes past Fingerhook behind. So the 2 Tier 4 boys representing in Alfa Romeo. Doing a good job, both up in the points at the moment. So keep going, lads. We're all cheering you on. El Trocker now going to try and chase down Yari and Lunar Jedi ahead of him. Kebab up past Learning to Wheel for 11th place. I think that's because Learning to Wheel's coming to the pits. And a bit of issues all over the place there. El Trocker and Yari is into the wall. Yari's into the wall. That's a mistake from Yari. And that means that El Trocker, Fingerhook, Vivico all get through. So keeping it consistent. The boys for the Alfa Romeo team just driving in unison at the moment. Synchronized Formula 1 here, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Cully is now hauling in Carcraft for 2nd spot. This is some exciting stuff going down here. Can he find a way past? Trying to keep it tight on the exit. Trying to put the power down. Runs it to the inside. Yari gets past Vivico. I think that's because Vivico spun. Oh no, Vivico spun and Total lost the end plate of his front wing. So Vivico's going to have to come into the pits to get that sorted out. Harry Cully still within his half a second of Carcraft. As we watch Kebab. Oh, he's overtaken. He's lapping a car there. Oh, we've got little gaps opening all over the place. And it looks like our battle for second is the closest fight we've got on the screen at the moment. It looks like the rain is easing off as well. Maybe not. Maybe that's just hopeful thinking. Wishful thinking as we... wait for exciting passes to happen out on track again. Dark RT21 gets a 3-second time penalty to add insult to injury. It's really unfair on him that he's so far back from Sharif. It's just not fair on the timing grid that he's there, because actually he got caught up 1 lap down in the safety car period. In a real Formula 1, you would let that driver be let through, and they would be allowed to cut back up and unlap themselves. El Trocker and Lunar Jedi battling here. El Trocker having a look up the inside of Lunar Jedi, and he slams on the brakes, swings it in, and he manages to get that position done first. Good move from El Trocker. So El Trocker up into 4th place. Noof Squid is coming past Catsby, who's coming out of the pits there. Yari is past Fingerhook. So Yari up into 6th place. Now a 7.5 second gap for him to catch up to El Trocker. Need to avoid touching 2 wheels on the grass through the corners, through those straights, Yari. Let's see if he can manage that for the remainder of this. We've still got such a long way to go. Let's stop writing things off. I'm sure he can manage it. I've no doubt. And the Carcraft Harry Cully battle rages. Too late, mate. Sets another fastest lap of the race, a 1:31.022. Now the intermediate pit the strategy is open for these guys who didn't pit at the start. Harry Cully through on Carcraft. A good move, keeping it tight, keeping it held there, and heading round a nice move there from Harry Cully. So there we are. That is the outcome of the Harry Cully Carcraft battle for now. As Harry Cully sets a new fastest sector 1. You just got to be super delicate in the wet weather. Can Harry reel in this gap to Too Late Mate up ahead? Too Late Mate now goes sub 1 minute 30 for a fastest lap. Witcher gets 3-second time penalty. Witcher taking a quick trip onto the grass. Greetings, lusting Asmodeus. We watch Catsby go past Noof Squid there. Carcraft now gets 6 seconds worth of penalties. Catsby has now got 3. Kebab is now having a look past Noof Squids. Ooh, touching. Careful, lads. Oh, and just not quite leaving enough room there. Trying to force each other. And Noof Squid ends up spinning right around. Well, it was a beautiful little spin. All the way around there. And that's allowed Learning to Wheel to get right onto the back of Kebab. Here, let's have a look at Kebab trying to pull away from Learning to Wheel. As Lunar Jedi, El Trocker has come into the pits. So El Trocker pitting onto a set of the medium tyres. So we are now, it looks like, we are now just about dry enough. He's going to be the first person to go onto the medium. So it'll be interesting to have, let's have a look at what El Trocker can do here. As he comes out in 8th place on the hard tyres. Okay. Well, let's have a look at El Trocker versus Catsby, shall we? Obviously, this first sector will be a lot slower. As we've got all sorts of drivers now swinging into the pits. Okay, so we've got Learning to Wheel onto the soft tyres. He's going to need to make them last. We've got Noof Squid onto the mediums. We've got Kebab onto the mediums. And oh, and he's got Fingerhook. Oh, he's come off. Is that Catsby ahead of him? No, Fingerhook off onto the gravel ahead of him, so that's going to allow him through easily there. Now he's got Catsby ahead to overtake. And Carcraft and Harry Cully both into the pits. Too Late Mate has gone on to the softs. Too Late Mate has gone on to the softs. And out of the pits there, onto the softs. Harry Cully's gone onto the mediums. Carcraft has gone onto the softs. So those drivers going onto the softs. Oh, it's going to be a challenge. 11-12 laps. It's doable. It's doable. as everyone's swinging into the pits now. Catsby still out on the intermediate tyres. Gonna need to swing in the next lap, you would think. Oh, as El Trocker comes off and gets a bit of oversteer. So maybe a suggestion that it's not the perfect time to be driving on the dry tyres. It's going to cause people to spin. It's going to make things difficult. Kebab moves up past a whole bunch of cars because of that. And let's have a little look. Too late, mate. This is absolutely... I mean, it's been so easy for him this afternoon as Learning to Wheel goes past a bunch of people in the pits. That's Witcher, that's DP, that's Noob Squid comes past Witcher. Be Vico in the pits as well. He's going to swing onto the soft tyres, you would think. So, too late, mate. 16-second gap for him up the front. Carcraft with Harry Cully right behind him. And this battle rages again. Carcraft has gone past on the soft tyres. Harry Cully, though, is going to need to just hold on to him and hope that he can make these medium tyres last longer. El Trocker coming past Catsby, who's now into the pits for his... So just gone on to the inters as well. Just gone on to a fresh set of inters as well. So not ideal for Catsby. Came in too early. Didn't stretch it out. Yari now right in behind Lunar Jedi as Kebab sets the new fastest lap of a 1 minute 27.8. Yari now within half a second of Lunar Jedi ahead of him. He's going to have a look for a way past. As we have 10 laps to go of this exciting afternoon of racing. Evening of racing. And Yari's going to have the inside line there. Nicely done with the DRS open. Easily sweeps past. Learning to Wheel is past Fingerhook. So a good move from him. Yari gets a 3-second time penalty. Carcraft needs to pull 3 seconds out on Harry Cully. And his tyres are going to start going off towards the end. So he's going to want to try and put out at least 4 seconds on Harry Cully with 3 or 4 laps to go. It's going to be tricky. Yari has got about 5 seconds to find on El Trocker as Learning to Wheel sets a new fastest lap for the race. Vico gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and that takes him up to 11 seconds of time penalties. I think it's a little bit away from Vico today. Unlucky though, he's put in a good stint. He was running in the points really well for a long time. We've got Learning to Wheel. Too Late Mate now sets a 1 minute 22.8 at the front of the pack. Fantastic time from him. Learning to Wheel is now within half a second of Catsby ahead of him. He's got a lot of seconds to make up post-race. And he runs to the inside there and easily passed. Up, he's now going to pull out 6 seconds on Catsby, so he's got a bit of a challenge there. Once all the penalties have been applied, Liari sets a new fastest lap for the race and moves himself up within pulled a second on the gap to El Trocker ahead. He's going to have a challenge though because he has a penalty, El Trocker does not. It could be the point that almost everyone has got a penalty anyway, so well done to DP, Sharif and El Trocker for not having got one. Kebab making his way back up in 7th place. So he's doing a really good job as well. After that one mistake, really promising opening of the race. I would think that Kebab could have been really challenging for the lead here and putting in a really excellent sterling effort had he not had those slight errors. Learning the wheel is closing him down a little bit though. On the soft tyre, as we spoke about, but obviously those tyres will start to go off. It all depends on how long you can hold them up for, how long you can make them last. As Learning the wheel sets a purple first middle sector, which means it's the fastest of anybody so far today. And he is really closing in that gap to Kebab ahead of him, so really impressive driving from Learning the wheel from Kebab ahead of him, on Kebab ahead of him, closing that gap now 1.2 seconds, and it's a new fastest lap from Learning the wheel, 1:21.8. Very impressive from the Racing Point driver. What else we got going on? We've got Witcher in behind Noof Squid for 12th place, having a little look, deciding against it. You've got to be patient, you've got to be careful and make the right move. Oh, it looks like he might be ghosting actually Noof Squid, which goes up past him there. What else we got? We've got Learning the wheel here. Oh, Learning the wheel spins! Learning the wheel spins! He's just caught up to Kebab, and all of that hard work that he's putting in all those fast times there, and he spins out, and Kebab immediately spins out ahead of him as well. So Kebab clearly didn't want him to miss out on that battle there, so both drivers end up going slowly, which allows Catsby to waltz through there and up into 7th place, and it allows Fingerhook to catch up to the back of these guys. Sharif gets a 3-second time penalty now, taking him up to 3 seconds, so he was one of the few drivers who hadn't had one so far today. And this is what I was saying earlier about how the limits on this track, more than any other track, I think, are so tight. Because it's so fast and because it's such heavy braking zones into really quite slow corners. We see Learning the wheel come in for a fresh set of rubber and possibly a front wing change, I would imagine. Oh, he's going to retire. That's such a shame. But because of the challenges presented in that way by this unique track, no other track like it on the Formula One calendar, it makes it those margins for error so narrow, so thin, that it's really easy to make a mistake here. So it looks like Carcraft has managed to pull out his big gap. Now, I said he'd won about 4 seconds because these Red Bull tyres are going to start to go off. They're going to start to get away from him towards the end of this race. And that's going to help Harry Cully. He can try and stay within 4 seconds for now. On the last couple of laps, he could be setting some really good pace on the tyres that are still more alive than the driver ahead. Yari, on his medium compound tyre, has been steadily closing this gap to Old Trucker ahead. Witcher has dropped out of the session. So we are running here with 15 of our remaining drivers. Sorry, 14 of our remaining drivers running through. Dark RT gets a drive-through penalty. What's he got a drive-through penalty for? Oh, we've got the safety car out. The safety car is out, so Witcher has triggered a safety car, and that is going to change the complexion of this race completely. Now, interesting. It depends on how much we're going to be able to bunch the cars up come this safety car period, or through the safety car period. So that instant with Witcher has opened up the safety car. Now that means that Carcraft, his gap, he's come into the pits. So he's managed to come into the pits onto a set of fresh tyres. And he's got ahead of Harry Cully. So interesting choice from Harry Cully not to pit there. I will say I'm surprised. El Trocker, everyone swinging into the pits to get onto the fastest rubber for what will be a sprint to the end now. Yeah, absolutely. Catsby stays out. So Catsby decides to stay out and he's going to jump Lunar Jedi there. But Lunar Jedi will come out ahead of Kebab, who has stayed out as well. Let's get those tyres up so we can have a look at who's got what in the final moments of today's race. Wow, well, this is going to make a sprint to the finish, and this is going to be, as I always say, it's calculator time. Who can get where with what? We're all going to have to be adding on time penalties and removing time penalties and working out averages of what people still need to put in. So it'll be fascinating to see how this works out. Dark RT21 has been disqualified from the session for driving too quickly and ignoring the yellow flags. I can understand his frustration though, right down the bottom there. It's going to take us a minute for everything to close up. We are now, I reckon, we'll be just about there on either this lap. Let's hope we can be there on this lap, because we've got a couple of drivers, DP and Noof Squid, who have just got to make up a little bit of ground. But beyond that, most of the other cars are in the train. So here we are then, waiting for everyone to catch up to the front. Too late, mate, leading away the pack. Carcraft in second place, which means we've got Sharif in between the two of them. And again, one of the problems caused by not having the cars unlap themselves. So we are going to have one more lap under the safety car, I would imagine. As I say, the game never really likes to start everyone off under the safety car, or finish the race under the safety car, but also it likes to have that everyone bunched up. So it's going to make us have one more lap waiting for Noof Squid just to catch up to the back, which is all very well. But it means those penalties are going to count more than ever. Carcraft has got 11 seconds, so he's sped in the pit lane somewhere along the line there, and that is going to be an absolute nightmare for him, because he is going to lose out on all of that massive advantage there. As you'll see, he'll drop right back down to 10th place with an 11-second gap there. And once Noof Squid catches up, he'll drop back to 11th place. So here we are. I think we're going to be ready for for the safety car to come in this lap, as we are going to ride on board with Too Late Mate. We're going to watch him prepare those tyres, get them as hot as you can, ready to go racing again. He's put himself in a great position to really win this race. Carcraft got a mountain to climb when this is all kicks off again. Harry Cully behind him, setting himself up nicely for a podium here. Going to hunt down, he's going to hope that he can get past Carcraft quickly and hunt down Too Late Mate. Might be Carcraft's one sort of opportunity for a win. It's if those two crash into each other. It's going to need quite a few cars to crash into each other, I think, on the last 2 laps of this Grand Prix. So Too Late Mate has let the safety car open up a gap ahead of him. He's warming those tyres up as he comes down this start-finish lane through Parabolica, and he's the one who decides when they get going again, and we are going again. He puts down the pedal to the metal, and Carcraft now has got to try and find a way past, but he's got Harry Cully right in behind him, and this battle that has been raging all race, absolutely fantastic from the two drivers. He's not going to find a way past this time. Kebab having a look up the inside of Catsby, and it's a bit of a naughty one. Catsby ends up running along a straight line there. Oh, and that someone's been clipped there. Ended up in the wall. That's Vivico at the back, I think. Not great for him. DP is up past Lunar Jedi. Good little battle from these two. They're going to go in side by side. Lunar Jedi gets up the inside and gets the inside line into that corner. Nicely done from Lunar Jedi. Up into 9th place. So we've got Yari now in right behind the back of El Troca. Can he find a way past? And Fingerhook has gone off onto the gravel, ended up losing out places. Vivico's DNF'd, and Too Late Mate has managed to pull away his little gap at the start there from the front. It's just enough for him to win first place from El Troca. Fingerhook come past Lunar Jedi, and I think Lunar Jedi's made a mistake there as well for him to end up at the back. And poor old Sharif down. Too Late Mate sits a 1:21.2 new fastest lap. And he's pulled out his 3-second gap to El Troca, so exactly what he needed. El Troca currently just within enough of a gap of Harry Cully ahead of him. So he's going to want to stay there behind Harry Cully. Sharif, you're a lap car, mate. You need to take your foot off the power and let these guys through. And Yari now right on the back of El Troca as well. Can he find a way past the second Renault? Doesn't seem to have the pace off the Lesmo there to catch. Of course, this is the last lap, so it's all going to be about who can get where, when, now. Too Late Mate is going to come round the final corner. Yari's not going to be close enough, it doesn't look like. Kebab is not going to be close enough to the back of Catsby to really, you're going to have to throw it, absolutely send it up the inside here. He's not going to be able to do it. So, Too Late Mate sets a new fastest lap on the last lap, and he crosses the line to go first. Harry Cully comes second, El Troca third. Carcraft gets 4th place, Yari 5th. Yari drops down to 7th there, so Kebab gets 5th. DP gets 6th, Yari 7th. Well, what a fantastic race. It was all go there. We had safety cars, we had rain, we had dry weather. Kebab gets the game's driver of the day, and you know what? I'm going to agree with the game today. Kebab, absolutely fantastic drive-in from the back to the front, spun it, went to the back, and just drove back to the front again. Absolutely brilliant. What an exciting evening of racing we have had. As we watch Too Late Mate collect his Victor's Cup. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Sunday Race League's Friday evening, no assists tier. I'm usually doing the GP2, but I will not be doing the GP2 tomorrow. I will see you next Saturday, though, again for the GP2. And, of course, this Sunday, when we've got the races coming to you from 3 all the way up until 7, from the F4 all the way up to the F1 races. Fantastic, fantastic afternoon of racing. Really, really greatly. Yeah, absolutely. It was a brilliant, brilliant tight racing. Excellent quality from all of the drivers. Let's take you a rundown of our finishing order. We had Too Late Mate from Harry Cully, El Trocker in 3rd, Carcraft 4th, Kebab 5th, DP in 6th, Yari in 7th, Catsby in 8th, Noof Squid in 9th, Fingerhook 10th, Luna Jedi 11th, Sharif in 12th, and Vivico in 13th, the last of our finishers. Witcher DNFs, Learning to Will DNFs, as does Pinnacle, the Goat of Anxiety, and Dark RT21 was disqualified in the end for multiple speeding warnings. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for joining us. We will see you all again very soon.